Hey everyone, had an unexpected surprise the last couple of days. I have an Etsy shop. Currently, I have bookmarks, the majority of which are AI generated images that I then 3D print to make a bookmark up. And I wanted to highlight those by handling them, moving them around, making videos of them. So I used my Canon R5, put it up over my shoulder so I could get a view down on it while I worked and manipulated the bookmarks. And then I decided, well, let me put it into Adobe Premiere Pro. In order to get it to work there properly, I really needed to render into out. And I just went through and did all of the bookmarks. So it's much longer than it would be if I was doing a bookmark at a time. It was much easier too. I didn't have to keep starting and stopping the camera for each individual video. But that means I have to chop it up. And what I found out was Pro was going to take hours to render the little snippets that I had in a row into an image so I could actually see it and manipulate it. But it occurred to me, I haven't used Premium Rush in a while. What would that do? And Premium Rush didn't require me to do much of anything. It loaded in the big files from the R5 that I shot in RAW, allowed me to see what I was working on, allowed me to play it immediately, which Pro did not allow me to do, and it made it much easier for me to break these up into pieces. I could still do my preset. I could still remove the background noise because there was no sound on these, so I could take that off. I could turn it into a square format. Now, it's not 100% of where I need to be, but I now have an MP4 that I can then turn into Pro and manipulate it anything more that I want to do with it. But now it'll manipulate easier because it's not the original raw Canon R5 footage. And now I'm not sure why that would be, but it is much easier to manipulate using Rush. So the way you go about it is you create a project, and you're just going to keep reusing the project. Then you go through and put your load your video in, because the project requires you to load a video on start, right? So you load your video in, start it playing, use the scissors on the side to snip it where you want, delete the rest of it off, right? So if it's, you're partway through, obviously you're going to delete the beginning part, you're going to delete the part after what you want, and then export it. So you're going to do share. You're going to export that item. Instead of being sequence 1, give it a good name. Change where it's going to save so it's in the folder that you want it, and export it. Quick and easy. Time consuming, obviously, when I did it this way. I saved time on the front end, but not on the back end, because on the front end, I could just stack up my bookmarks. I have quite a few. They're not all going to be on the site at once, so I've got a few that I can rotate in, and I can put those bookmarks in front of the camera, do the video, and then move on to the next bookmark. So a quick assembly line type thing, right? Put the bookmark down, manipulate the bookmark, move it around a little bit, take that one out, put the next one in, do the same thing, rinse and repeat. But now that I've got it as one long video file, I now have to cut it up. It also means I didn't have to grab multiple files and then try to remember which file was which item. So on the front end, it was much quicker. On the back end, it's taking me a little bit more time to go through all of the individual little footages that I've got. But I found it rather interesting that Premium Rush would be able to work with that file format so much more cleanly than Premiere Pro. So what I would recommend to you guys, if you need to do it now, Premium Rush is just going to save it as an MP4. You get very little options there. What you're going to get is an MP4. So if you've got a big footage, especially for something like this, which is not movie quality that I'm going to be putting out. It's just a simple little set of bits. Run it through that first. You could run the entire video through that if you wanted to, and then cut it up in Pro. So you can do some basic manipulations, save yourself a preset with the way you've manipulated the color and the contrast and exposure, and put that together. And then you can just send it off and do it on the other side. For each of these, I have a little audio blurb, so I have to go to Premiere Pro anyway to add that audio file in. At least that's where I want to do it, is over there. Add the audio file in and manipulate the images so that they fit the length of the audio, or vice versa, and I'm ready to go. So I just thought that was kind of an interesting thing to keep in mind. It would also be useful if you wanted to do something as simple as put out a quick little promo about something. You could throw it into Rush, which is going to grab the file, manipulate it rather quickly there, and save your final cut for the actual one that you put out, and do your little teasers or things using Rush, as opposed to taking the time to run it through Premiere Pro up front. So that's what I got for you guys this week. Look around at your tool sets. Sometimes tools that you might have discounted because Rush was made for doing stuff for social media, so I didn't think about it in this particular context until I was looking at my list of options that I had and figured I'd give it a shot. It's more lightweight. It still eats as much processor time as the Premiere Pro does, but it could manipulate the videos so much quicker for me to break them up into pieces. But look around at what you got. You might have a tool that you didn't think about or haven't thought about in a while that could help you do your job a little quicker and a little easier. That's what I got for you guys this week. I will talk to you all next week.